This is part 2 of the video on area and perimeter of rectangles and squares. So if we look at example 5, to find the indicated measures if the length of a rectangle is 4 more than twice the width. Okay, so I'm going to draw a rectangle. And what you want to ask yourself is, which measurement do we know something about? Well, we know that the length is 4 more than twice the width. So we know something about the length. It's 4 more than twice the width. So we don't know anything about the width. So I'm going to call the width W. And then how do I write 4 more than twice the width? Well, I'm going to add 4 to 2 times the width. So that says 4 more than twice the width. Now we're just going to follow our rules. The length is 2W plus 4. The width is W. And now we eventually want to go back and fill in a number there. But I'm going to start with that. Okay, now we're going to follow the formula for finding the area. The area is length times width. Okay, actually I'm not going to start there, because what they give us is the perimeter. So sorry about that. They give us that the perimeter is 62. So we want to start with the formula for perimeter, which is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width is equal to 62. Now I'm just going to substitute for length 2W plus 4, and for W just simply W. So let's write that out. I'll give myself 2 times 2W plus 4 plus 2 times W. Well, that is equal to the perimeter, which they tell us is 62. Okay, so now we have an algebra equation. I'm going to distribute here. 2 times 2W is 4W. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 2W equals 62. Combine like terms, 2W and 4W, and I get 6W plus 8 is equal to 62. If I subtract 8 from both sides, let me double check and not make a mistake. 62 minus 8 is 54. And then 54 divided by 6 is 9. So W is 9. So we say that the width is W. So my width now I know is 9. And my length was 2W plus 4. So 2 times 9, 18, plus 4. So my length is 22. And now the area is simply 22 times 9, 198. And the perimeter is, if this is 22, and if this is 9, we're just going to do 44 plus 18, 62. Okay, so please look at that. I know it's kind of messy writing there. And I'm going to pause, and y'all please try and do the quick check yourself. Okay, hopefully you did. I'm going to go ahead and draw the picture right here. Now this time, indicated measures if the length is 8 less than 3 times the width. So again, we know something about the length. It's 8 less than 3 times the width. So I'm going to call the width W, and this is 8 less. I'm going to subtract 8 from something, and that is 3 times W. Okay? And they tell us the perimeter is 64. So we change colors here. So 2 times length plus 2 times width equals 64. And so now we will substitute in this for length and this for width. So 2 times 3W minus 8 plus 2 times W equals 64. So 6W minus 16 plus 2W equals 64. Combine like terms. 8w minus 16 equals 64. Add 16 to both sides. 8w is 80. Divide by 8. And w is 10. Okay, so my width is 10. My length is 3 times 10 minus 8. So 30 minus 8 is 22. So the area is 22 times 10, or 220. And then the perimeter is, if the width is 10 and the length is 22, 44, 64. Okay. See what's next. We have this. This isn't hard, it's just fractions, and use your calculator if you need to, but you just need to be able to work with fractions, okay? The length, these are squares, and so the length is 1/2. And so the width is also 1/2. And so the area is length times width, or 1/2 times 1/2, which is 1/4. And then the perimeter is 4 times 1/2, which is 4/2, or 2. The next one, when you have 3/4, little more, but it's just 3/4 and 3/4. And the rules of multiplying 3/4 times 3/4 is you multiply the numerators and the denominators. So it's 9/16. And I don't think that can be simplified, so just 9/16. And then the perimeter is 4 times 3/4, which is going to be 12/4, which is 3. Okay, so that's just having to use fractions. And then I think we have, let's see. Okay, these last ones, these are called composite figures. And composite figures are just more than one polygon that is drawn together. And all you want to do is break it up into polygons where you can find measurements and find the area or perimeter, and then just add them together. More than one way you could split this one up. Let's see, I think I will probably go with, let's split it up right here. And now we have one large rectangle. And it looks like, let me change colors. This is a square, because they show us that all of these are the same. Well, they don't show us the 6 over here yet, but we're going to find that, because if we are, okay, I'm going to try and find the length of this side. I'm going to do that by looking over here, and I'm going to add 5 and 6, and this shows one mark here and one mark here, so that means that one is also 5. So the whole length over here is 16, which means this missing piece over here has to be 6. So we have a square here, and we have a rectangle here. So the area of the big rectangle is 16 times 4, which is 60. No, it's, sorry, 64. I can't. Yeah, 64. And then over here, we have 6 times 5, which is 30. So I guess that wasn't a, oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, this is 6. These are all 6. 6 times 6 is 36. And so 64 plus 36 is 100. So be careful when you split them up. I should probably erase that and show it again. Okay, this was 6 here. All these 2 marks are 6. All the 1 marks are 5. So this ended up being 16 times 4, which was 64. And this was 6 times 6, which is 36. So you had 64 and 36, and your area is 100. The perimeter, be careful when you go around and add. But this is 4. It's a rectangle, so that one's 4. So just need to make sure that we add each little piece. Let me get a different color. I'm going to add 16 and 4 is 20, 25, 31, 37, 43, 48, 52. And then I would probably use my calculator and go back and double check. All right, let's look at the last one. Again, split it up